Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from a lovely little Westlake Village, California. We're going to talk about Bitcoin price action, some of the underlying market dynamics, some of the economic events coming up in the week to come, downside targets, upside targets, the whole 9 yards. Should I start out with the bull news or the bear news? Well, this article from fitconsulting.com, kind of conclusion after the debt ceiling debate. It says, even though virtually all observers expected the debt ceiling negotiations to conclude without a default, there is still an understandable sense of relief that is occurring. It's natural to move on to the next source of worry, perhaps ignoring the crash that didn't happen. The combination of the need to replenish the TGA account, the persistence of inflationary pressures that increase the likelihood of further central bank rate increases, the continuation of quantitative tightening, and the expected withdrawal of temporary liquidity provided at the time of the regional bank failures together present a new set of threats to bank treasurers, deal makers, and their advisors. So the debt ceiling crisis may be in the rearview mirror. Parts of its wreckage may still lie ahead of us. Summed it up pretty good there. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to the guys in El Salvador launching this, deploying 250 million towards a volcano mining in El Salvador. The goal is economic liberty, self-determination, and sovereign wealth accumulation for generations to come. Sums up, I think, how El Salvador keeps on winning. Nice tweet there, Max. And then what else happened today? SEC sues crypto exchange Binance CEO over various things that, of course, CZ claims is FUD. The biggest story we were talking about last week, market breadth, all the excitement around AI and tech. And yeah, Apple made some new all-time highs today. So this is the one, caveat or kind of nuanced interpretation that, let's see, how's NVIDIA doing? And NVIDIA is still way up there. Volatility is resetting here. So on the decline. Not necessarily ready to call a top on that one. Actually, volatility is beginning to decline on the daily. And yeah, I'd say opportunity to close the gap is sooner than later on that one. Microsoft printing new all-time highs yet? Not quite, I guess. ChatGPT for Microsoft. Bing is working out good. Google ripping. Amazon ripping. Tesla also taking a nice rip up. So tech stocks still getting, again, we talked about 5-10 stocks in the S&P 500, making up for 97% of the gains, not being a lot of market breadth, going into a low liquidity environment. The question is now, what is going to, continue to lead Bitcoin in this market? Will it be the dollar, which has rallied significantly off the lows, which we are continuing to be bullish on as long as we're closing dailies above this green box of peace and prosperity? And typically when the dollar goes up, risk assets typically go down. Or is the NASDAQ going to turn around, buck the trend, and euphoria going to send us up to some new all-time highs? I think the latter probably likely to happen. We've been talking about getting stopped out at the 618, but if we can close a few dailies above here and hold, well, the next target is 15,417 for this nice little rally off the NASDAQ. Also noting the VIX is way down in the bouncy territory. So last time VIX capitulated like this below a 18.7 read. Let's see, January 2022, and that's kind of when the rally began. So and now we are breaking those lows. So the last time we ticked this low was going back to February 2020. What do you know? I think that was right before March of 2020, COVID. And then a few months later as well, the VIX came back down. That's when we began to rally in the stock market. All right, back on to Bitcoin and some current price action. We've been talking about this level here at 25,000. Some might say close enough is close enough. Let's see if I can pull up my other chart here. And based on the read right now, I mean, if we do technically close the daily anywhere here or lower, 25.8, I would be looking for the lower side target to probably get hit, over the next day. Down 5% today. Wow. Nice little tick down. But this area could be a bouncy area and just very well could be the low if the Bitcoin wants to pick it up and start following the NASDAQ, or is Bitcoin leading tech in general, and the idea of risk off environment, low liquidity environment that, people are juicing their guns a little bit early. Is it the FUD surrounding Binance? I'm still a long-term believer in Bitcoin. I think the market absolutely is going to pick itself up from its bootstraps and probably have one of the best years of the year, but I want to take it level by level. So again, where am I ready to get bullish on this one? Well, now I could probably move that pivot down to about 27.5, but conservatively back above 28.5. I'll be looking for a run back to the highs here. And what will kind of indicate, well, you can see daily volatility is just beginning to expand. And we talk about expansion above 25%. So, to be fair, this is a bit of a false signal, as when volatility got above 25%, let's say on this tick right here, price in general should move in the direction of the stochastic. Well, we did get a slight move down, and then momentum flipped back to the downside, crossed it down. And we talked about this a few days ago, as volatility is still generally expanding. Well, I think this is the nuanced interpretation. As you see this kind of motion above 25%, well, I think this stochastic is going to take over. Also, you have the dominant trends like the 4-day and the 5-day, which we had been talking about for the last 3 weeks, was this 4-day hidden bearish divergence, which was confirmed on this candle 3 weeks ago. And we were targeting the move down to about 25,000. So if you had the patience to sit through all of that, I'm glad you did. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you can get, made aware ahead of time, kind of the general thesis on where market structure is going to go. And yes, so I think Ethereum, to point out as well, has been rather bullish compared to Bitcoin. And that's why ETH Bitcoin is, putting in a bit of a double bottom. And I would be targeting a move off expansion here, perhaps to fill in this wick somewhere over here. Somewhere in this zone. Actually, I'll give a more direct target on this one. And so ETH has been outperforming Bitcoin, still holding on to the 1750 area, still holding on to this trend line. Could put in a nice little bounce, call it a second retest of the trend line. But if we start to break back below in the triangle, again, below this pivot at 1750, that's kind of the line in the sand. And I think things will probably move down pretty swiftly from there if Ethereum starts to close dailies below 1750. What else do I want to check in on? See if any of the metaverse and gaming coins are ripping to the upside. So perhaps on the 4-hour, it looks like we just got the measure move target hit on render off of this descending triangle, which we called out last week. Target hit. So question is, are we going to bounce from here or not and make some new all-time highs? Along with Apple, I just want to check in on Apple really quick and some of the currencies. The euro still heading down. British pound getting a bounce. Chinese money heading down. Japanese money hit the target. Looks like potential bounce. Just really quickly going through some of these hot topics from last week. Matic not getting much there. Okay, Apple. This is what I want to check in. So Apple is certainly making a new all-time high. I did hear that they reached a $3 trillion market cap today. Good job, Apple. Good job, Steve Jobs. And this, could support the overall market and continue to feed the fire of the AI rally. Let's see, gold, checking in on gold, recapping from last week. We talked about above this box, good, below it, bad. We did call the, nice little top call on that one as well. Silver, not getting a whole lot, probably going to do whatever gold does, but more. And 1 inch, we talked about this target last week. Looks like we overshot the target as they deployed well, I don't know what they did, but they, allowed, it was an unlock, a founder's unlock. So typically those things can happen, will happen. And I think I'm going to wrap it up with that today, guys. As far as economic news coming out this week, we got S&P Global Services today, which came out bearish for the dollar. Tuesday is, I think, balance of trade, not big there. Wednesday, jobless claims, and then the 13th and the 14th, that's the big dates. 13th is CPI, 14th is FOMC. I'd have to go back and check Thursday and Friday. I think it's a kind of a nothing burger for economic news this week. So the big question is, how soon will they refill this Treasury General account? And is it going to actually tap the liquidity in the market? Lastly, I'll just check in on our open interest. Open interest is taking a slight move down from last week. And when open interest goes down, typically price action would go down with it. Really nuanced interpretation on that, but open interest is getting shaved off here since the beginning of, call it the end of May. Coming down, and then that's also open interest. Yep. So I think that's going to be it. So generally speaking, if Dixie wants to continue the upward trudge and do something like that, or even just get a little bit more a lift off, that would be, in my opinion, bearish for risk assets, bullish, bearish for risk assets. And we're going to have to judge the market from there. We are close enough, the great old saying, close enough is close enough. How will we know when this move is over? We get another 4-hour closure below this level. And the measured move off of this target is all the way down to 24,000. I'm personally looking to bid, again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but somewhere around 25,100 to 25,000. And then we'll judge it from there, guys. I hope you have a blessed and highly favored week. It's a new week, new opportunities, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Take care.